I decided to take a break from sewing and try something different. For the past 2 months, I've been playing around with beads and I really enjoyed it. I made some really cute pieces that I'm excited to show you today. But at the end of this video, I'll tell you why I don't want to keep doing it. The first thing that I made was this bracelet with green cabochons. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but that's what those stones are called. I wanted this bracelet to be green, so I went to the nearest craft store to find some matching beads, but there were none. They were all different shades of green, and I just didn't have the patience to search other places, so I used a lot of gray instead. I think it turned out fine, just not green. I did make another bracelet that's actually green. It's a cuff bracelet and it's a little bit heavy. I bought these beautiful stones from Michaels, and because each one is set in a silver frame, I decided to add silver beads to match them. I used 2 different shades of silver. I think one of them is called gunmetal and the other one is just silver. And the background is made with turquoise beads from Hobby Lobby. I don't know if this bracelet looks like everything was planned out carefully. Well, it wasn't. Everything kind of just got decided along the way. Some parts had to be undone several times. Actually, in all of my embroidery pieces, I've had to unpick something because I didn't like it anymore. So both bracelets turned out completely different from what I imagined when I bought the supplies for them. It feels like the beads themselves guide you on what to do. Or maybe it was like that for me because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. This is the last bracelet I made. I followed a tutorial on YouTube and this is how it turned out. At first I used black beads, but then I switched them out for blue ones because I thought it would look great with jeans. It's definitely more comfortable than the first 2 since it's smaller, and its modern look makes it really versatile. You can wear it with casual outfits or dress it up for going out. This bracelet was pretty easy to make, and maybe someday I'll make another one like this, but in a different color, silver maybe. I still have tons of beads left over. I'll show you everything I got for jewelry making after we go through all the pieces that I made. I've made almost 3 necklaces so far. This one is a brown goldstone cabochon I got from Etsy. I decided not to take any risks with color, so I used different shades of gold and brown. The simpler the color combo, the easier it is to match the piece with different outfits. I like how well it goes with my brown accessories, my shoes, my bag, and my new belt. The biggest lesson I learned while making this chain was not to pull the thread too tight. I still have my first attempt, and as you can see, the chain looks uneven because some parts were pulled a little too tight. To make everything look natural, you really have to find the right tension in the thread. Take a look at the little strap. In the pre-iPhone era, people wore wristwatches. Yes, believe it or not. And the metal strap on those watches had the exact same kind of braid as this one. It made me smile that I could make that. This is the simplest necklace I've made, just beads on a string. I really like these glass beads because they're not too shiny or cheap looking. And I wear a lot of black, so I wanted to make a short black necklace that will go with everything. It's simple, it's classy, I like this piece. In half of my jewelry pieces I used magnetic closure. They're super convenient for putting on and taking off, but there's one annoying issue. This bracelet actually came off my wrist twice while I was chatting with a friend at a restaurant. The first time I didn't even notice until the waiter picked it up from the floor and asked, "Is this yours?" The second time it took off, my reflexes kicked in and I caught it midair. The clasp didn't come undone by itself. It happened when I accidentally banged the bracelet on the table during one of my emotional stories. So either I need to stop flapping my hands around or get a different clasp. Look at the ridiculous amount of beads I bought. Originally, I only wanted to buy what I needed for a specific project, so I don't even understand how it all happened in just 2 months. But I didn't just get the supplies, I also ordered an extra shelf for all of it, and I'm not even sure it will fit everything. By the way, I like using a yoga mat as a liner. It keeps everything from rolling around. I use it for jewelry, for sewing supplies, and for beads now. Now let's talk about my thoughts on this whole creative journey and why I don't really want to keep doing it. I remember the first time I saw bead embroidery jewelry, and I was like, wow, it was so beautiful, like it belonged in another century. That was maybe 10 years ago or so. I got inspired and even bought a book to learn how to make it, but never got to it. I guess it just seemed really complicated and like I'd need a ton of supplies to buy. Plus, back then I was still figuring out sewing, so I ended up donating the book to the library, and that was the end of it. This time I watched a bunch of YouTube tutorials and just jumped right in. Actually, it's not that far from sewing, you just use the thread and sew the beads on. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I think that's part of the charm. It makes each piece look unique. I really enjoyed making all these pieces until I got to this one. Honestly, the necklace itself isn't the one to blame. It's just that I finally realized I don't like how I feel after doing beadwork. My eyes get tired and I end up sitting in one spot for hours, not moving, just focusing on these tiny beads. It makes me feel physically sluggish and kind of lazy. It's hard to jump from that kind of activity into something else, like it takes a while to come back to reality. It actually leaves me with less energy than I had before I even sat down. Besides the physical side, there's another challenge with this craft when you're right in the middle of making a piece of jewelry and suddenly have to stop to do other things. I get really annoyed leaving it unfinished. There's this strong urge to just finish it right away. It's almost addictive, you know? I had the same feeling when I tried crocheting, and honestly, I stopped for all the same reasons. I don't like being so obsessed with things. Don't know why, but I don't get that same urge or impatience with sewing. It just feels different. I should probably finish this necklace, undo all my failed attempts, put the beads back in place, and get back to sewing, because I just can't wait to start making garments again. Since I mentioned crocheting, I have to show off this bear that I made a few years ago. It's the Soviet Union version of Winnie the Pooh. I bought Piglet but couldn't find the bear in stores, so I made it.